Let's go collect energy first. Now we can go to my port keys and use a bunch of them. Actually, let's run first because I'm going to use a bunch of them. Now we can. Doing good with the unicorn hair on these. No unicorn hair there, but got a toadstool. Hi, Steph. So I got thinking from what you said this morning, I know why you haven't been on. You didn't say your daughter was home. And my brain didn't register when you said the number of people home. Cool. Okay, so I've got 2 eggs going that are almost ready. And I've got 12, so I need 6 more white and the rest red. Are any here? No. Let's go after these 2 things and I hadn't registered your daughter was home. And anyone who knows your daughter's home and knows what that means would know, yeah, you would be unavailable. So by the babies, does she have kids? I know your other daughter does. Okay, let's drive a bit. If I see a white port key, if I happen to notice it, I'm gonna pull over. to let that dragon go just because I'm after white port keys. I'll read what you said when we get to where I see a port key. And there's a white port key. Hopefully I get over in time. Got it. Ah, that's what you mean by the babies. That'll be fun for you to have them stateside. I didn't realize, I knew she was there, but I did, or, you know, that she was serving. That makes a lot more sense. I knew she was serving, but I didn't realize that she had babies. I'm sorry. I think you kind of know my feelings there. That's not right. Let's just put it that way. But at the same time, that means that there can be, the one good thing I see in that is she does not have to fight him to keep him with her. Because he could make her life as a soldier living heck. Yes. And that's the key. They were safe and loved with you. I keep making it in right after everyone. I figure I'll do a quick fight if I can find a fortress. So was he here and decided to divorce? Or had he been over there with her and decided to come back with the kids and whatever? Or had he left her and the kids there and then she had you take the kids so that she didn't have to worry about it? Guess I don't go in. she's been there for a while, it sounds like she probably had him there. So he must have been with her for a while there. I'm just gonna do this. So I need 2 more red and all the rest are going, or no, yeah, 2 more red. Oh no, I just need that 1 red. And all the rest need to be white. I counted wrong, I think. I'll double check when I get up here a little ways and get a few whites. So I dropped my son off to school, went to near my brother's house, and started the live. My son actually was slightly late for school today. Because he lost track of time slightly. So let's see. Yes. That's sad. So he stayed here. She was there the whole time. And then he decided he was going to keep one, not the other, which to me, honestly, that's bad in and of itself. And then it must have been hard on the son either way to, okay, and now, or basically on both of them, the whole way through. Hey, or on all of you. Hey, I don't want this child. Oh, wait, no, I don't want the other one either. But hopefully that means, one, it really shows the true nature, his true nature. And 2, hopefully they can end up with in the end, they'll end up with someone who really cares about them for a father. Not just someone who doesn't really want them. Because he's made it, to me, that makes it clear that he's not going to be the best father figure for them. Because if I can see that he didn't want the kids to go to to Korea. I can understand that. But what I can't understand is basically telling the kids, and I don't want you either. I mean, I'm sure it's not easy being a stay-at-home dad, but you know what? It's not, not a stay-at-home dad, but a single dad. But at the same time, it's not easy being a single mom either. So, and maybe he hoped by doing that, she would leave the military. And, maybe that was his goals. But if so, that's not right. That's kind of, in my mind, controlling. If he was with his parents, and I hate to say this, honestly, what that tells me is, one, he was just trying to do it to control her anyway. Hey, I want the kids. You can't take them with you. You can't take them out of state. I don't care, out of the country. I don't care that you're in the military. And but I don't want the kids either. Yeah. And that's even worse that, hey, it sounds like he thought he was going to get a ton of child support and didn't realize that, one, unless he was disabled, he would be counted as working a minimum of 40 hours a week. And the military doesn't get paid very much. And with her having one of the two kids, if they earned the same, then, or her, meaning he left one of the kids with you, if they earned the same, then it would cancel out child support anyway. I don't know where he would even get the idea that he would get a bunch of money for child support from a soldier. Whoever led him down that road led him way astray. Yeah, I can pick up 2 more red. And it sounds like whoever did was just trying to cause her a lot of issues. And that's what gets me. I wish there was some way that could be taken out of the picture. Honestly, I think if it wasn't for that, my husband's ex wouldn't have wanted the kids as long as she had them either. And, like, she still has one of the two. But honestly, she keeps... her treatment of that child is not cool. She knows the kid has depression, and she literally has told her she should go kill herself before. But then when the child decides that she's going to move with Dad, Mom throws a tizzy fit. You should go kill yourself, but you can't go live with your dad who cares for you. Your dad and his and your stepmom who care about you. And honestly, Mom's depressed herself. And so then what she does is when daughter goes to leave, she tells daughter that she'll kill herself if daughter leaves. And it's like, if you don't want her there, you don't want her there. Don't treat her horribly. But the $250 in child support that she gets a month means that much more she can use to go on her trips to Jamaica, where she was born, and whatever else. That some of the time she does take her daughter with her, some of the time she doesn't. But like they went to Germany, so she did take her daughter on this trip. They went to Germany and Europe and whatever else. But my stepson says the only reason she did it is because she knows you and your kids want to go and haven't been able to yet. And she went last year just before school started. Which is kind of... So literally her son feels... And her son... I can't remember if he was I don't think he was even invited. It was just her and her daughter. But her son's opinion of the matter was that the whole purpose in selecting there was because they knew that, or is because she knew that my family's from Germany and I've wanted to go back. Well, not go back, but go and visit. Take the kids, let them visit where their dad's from. Do some genealogy, whatever. And so she purposely chose there because she knew that would be of interest to us. But then I'm not even sure if they ended up going to Germany in the end. I think they ended up spending most of the time in England. Her daughter had said they needed the permission so that if they decided to do a day jaunt over to Germany, they could. Which is kind of like, really? So in other words, she was just saying it to try to get a rise. over somewhere and get them going and read what you said. Find a place that's good to pull over. Yeah, that is sad on the amount of time it took to get back. Oh, trust me, if I had my way, but at least, if I had my way, the kids would have been away from her a long time ago. I saw it happening. I tried to show everyone, whatever else, and no one believed me. But I will say, the one thing, in one way I did get her. And this is going to sound bad, but she had custody of both of them when she was living here. And then took him to a doctor, the oldest, took the son to the doctor and insisted he was severely mentally handicapped and she needed proof of it. And her husband, and my husband and I went to the appointment. And she's like, he can't tie his shoes. And I said, yes, he can, see? And I had him tie his shoes right there. You've just never taught him. I spend a little bit of time with him, and now he can tie his shoes. She always bought him slip-ons. That's all she would ever buy him. She would not buy him tie shoes. And that upset her, because she'd say something and I'd be like, bull crap, here's the he's doing this, he's doing that, he's everything she was claiming he couldn't do, he was doing just fine at our house, other than he would come with a slight language problem. Well, we got him for the summer one year, and I told before this, we'd had him for a while during the summer, and I told the doctor this, and most of the language problems went away, and they came back when he went back with his mom. Well, I had, at that point, and this was before this appointment, I had started listening to his mom a bit more. And I realized his issues were the fact that the very things that they were saying that he couldn't say, the sounds and stuff, when she got angry and yelled, that was how she would yell. Which made it clear all he heard at home was her yelling. And so he didn't know how to form certain sounds because he only heard them out of the home. One, that kind of upset me because it made it very clear that she was yelling at the kids all the time. Almost constantly. And honestly, she worked all the time too. If it was like, but at the same time, she didn't want the kids with me or her or their dad. she literally at times tried to have things happen so that we would not have any contact with the kids, but would have to pay full child support. And she and not just full child support. Her belief was that she should be able to have full child support, and he should have to pay whenever she felt like it. He should have to pay her whatever money she felt like. When I first started dating her, not long after they got divorced, he told me, well, so I have to pay child support, and I have to pay half of the child care, which both of those were reasonable, and she's asking for $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever for school clothes for the kids, and then she's telling me I'm gonna need to pay some extra for school supplies for the kids, and that she needs some money for rent for her and the kids. And I was like, no, that is not what happens. Child support or child care, she can only charge you reasonable child care. She can't go for an unreasonable amount. And you get first dibs on denying or on child care. So if you can be home during the time, if you're home and would want to care for the kids during the time she's putting them in child care, she cannot charge you for child care. And he went, what? She quickly changed to a cheaper child care. Because he basically said, we'll pick up the kids after school. My mom's here to take care of them, and then when we got married, he's like, and my wife's here that could take care of them, so my wife will pick them up from school, and then they'll be here with me the whole time I'm home until you get home from work, and if you're going to go to school, from school too. Which was often, we would keep them until 5 to 7 at night. The son's school grades went up when we had them. Except there was once or twice, he'd bring home his math paper and show that we had worked on together. And I had checked it, and I knew it was all right. And he told me, Mom made me change, and I'm like, why did you erase this answer? Because Mom made me? Or why did you put this answer? When you left here, we had the right answer. You had the right answer there. Would worked it out. I know, but Mom made me. She said it was wrong. And he'd got it marked wrong. And yet, the answer, that was why he told me, is the answer that he was supposed to put was the answer that was right, that him and I had gotten together, and his mom made him change it to wrong. And so after a while of this, when Mom realized she wasn't going to be able to keep us from having the kids over, she got a job in Washington. I really think that's part of the reason she got the job she did. She got a job in Washington that, yes, it paid better and everything, but it took off with the kids, and within the first few weeks, told us that she was making him put wrong answers on his papers again. And we told him, so do it at school. See if you let your teacher know. See if you can leave your do it after. And we asked him, isn't your mom working all day? Yeah, I have after school club. And so we said, okay, can you turn in your homework before you leave school? Check with your teacher. Or check with your teachers and see if you can do that. And so he did. And a little bit after that, all of a sudden, she wouldn't let them use their phone. When she first got there, she told us, the kids can't use my phone to call you, so if you want to have any contact with them, you're going to have to buy them a phone and put them on your own plan. So we did. And we sent it to them. And within 2 or 3 weeks of them having it, they didn't have a phone. They would not answer the phone. And then we got contact with them one time and found out that, I can't remember if it was the daughter or the son that called, but told us that she had taken their phone from them. And we quickly got a hold of the guardian ad litem, because she had been declared a guardian ad litem here for the kids. And the guardian ad litem contacted her and said and her claim was, well, because they wouldn't clean, they don't get their phone. And the guardian ad litem said, no, you cannot take contact with their father away from them. I don't care what they're doing or not doing. You cannot take contact with that away from them. And so, that was annoying. Don't know what that is, so I'm not going to answer. So she eventually got the son while she was in Washington diagnosed with Asperger's. But that basically meant he did not qualify for disability. And then she realized that my husband got to count him on taxes. And so here she was. All of a sudden, once she realized my husband got to count him on taxes and not her. And if we did sign over rights to count the son on taxes, that she would have to pay what difference it made to us. And she quit fighting for the son to be declared disabled. So that was interesting. Anyway. Oh, wow. But yeah, so my hope is that let's put it this way. Maybe it's for his kids and for your grandkids best that he did what he did, because he's already showed his true colors, and he showed them by him by him doing what he did while she wasn't even in the States, and having you take the kids. If later on he were to try and go to court and say, but she's in the military, so I should have the kids, there would be even more leg to stand on for her to fight and say, no, I need custody so that these kids don't have this happen again. So that he can't just out of the blue turn the kids over again. It was bad enough when they were young, but if they get older and he's just randomly, okay, I don't want you anymore. You know, basically it can save the kids from a lot of mental abuse and heartache. So is he gonna try for visitation at all, or is he totally, nope, I don't want anything to do with the kids at all? Because I do know either way he will still have to pay child support. Well, the good part about that is the longer he expresses that he doesn't want visitation, the less likely that if he chooses down the road to have visitation, the less likely he'll get it. Because it does sound like there is a possibility of some mental abuse would happen if he did get them. And this way, I honestly, part of me wonders how much Grandma and Grandpa on the other side, if part of it was they wanted him to have them, and so he did it to appease them, but realized that it was more that he would still have a lot of responsibility for him too, and he didn't want that. If he'd thought, I can get the money for the kids without having to do any, and Mom and Dad will take care of them for me. And if Mom and Dad maybe picked up on what was going on and said, nope, we do want contact with the kids, but we aren't going to, but you're their dad. You need, that car's booking it. It's not going 25 or even 35. It's and down a side road. So where the speed limit's 25. Go figure. Anyway. To where they said, you have to take some responsibility for these kids. We'll help while they're at school, but you're going to have to take care of them some while you're home. You can't just totally expect us to care for the kid. Guess not. In that case, it even more to me says it's that in one way it's good they're out of their lives. I hate to say it, but I've said before, my kids is Oma and Opa. Once the kids stood up to them, they didn't want anything to do with them. So, Didn't want a thing to do with them. I hate to say this, but I'm gonna tell you, because I know you probably won't tell your daughter. But probably the best thing for those kids then would be if she were to find an amazing husband, get married, and as soon as she's married, they can ask for her husband to adopt the kids. And from the sounds of it, he might approve it, thinking that he'd still keep some rights. And just don't let him know that he wouldn't keep rights to the kids at all. And then, if it's approved, which I can't see why it wouldn't be, then all restrictions are gone. He could no longer say the kids have to stay in the U.S. even. Because he would have given away all his rights. Well, honestly, it sounds like it. Well, so there's a couple things. One, I do know that he can sign over certain rights and claim that he'll sign over all the rights, but legally he can't sign over all rights unless the other parent chooses to go after them. And by that I mean that she would have to get married, and then her husband would have to go after rights. Until then, he has some say so he has some say for the kids. Doesn't mean he has much, and he may claim he has none, but if he were to choose, he can dictate things like, no, she can't leave the country with the kids, and things like that. But the longer he goes without seeing them, the less his rights become, to the point where I think it's, and I don't know how many years it is, but there is a certain a certain time where if he has not seen the kids in this amount of time at all, and he wants to see them again, even just to see them for visitation, they have to work into it where at first they meet at a place local to them and just spend a little bit of time together with mom nearby, and that the kids can always return to mom. And then it can be, okay, he gets like half an hour at a local park or somewhere local to them with the kids. And then basically to get the kids to get to know him again. Or to get to know him in the first place, especially with their ages. It would take, I think if he doesn't visit and I know that's if they're older, like if he hasn't seen them for a long, like if they were 5, if the youngest was 5 when he left, And he's gone, I think it's 4 years that has to happen. If he then chooses to go after visitation. Obviously, the older if they're 10 or 12 or 14 and that happens, then the figuring is they may have some memory of it. And so it doesn't take as long. But especially when they're younger, courts will insist on that. And I think when they're even younger, so knowing the age of the kids now, I think the time's even shorter than that he can't see them, that if he hasn't seen them, they have to have a period of kind of investigation, or not investigation, but just to get to know Dad again before they have to spend overnight with him. And that's one thing a lot of people don't realize is they're like, I have literally had people be like, oh, I can get out of their lives now, but then if I choose in the future, I'll be back in their lives. Not realizing that there's actually... And so especially I've heard of that happening with people who are abusive. They will try to control the spouse through the kids. And sometimes, and so they'll disappear for a while and then they'll come back. But when they realize that, oh, the ex-spouse has moved on with their life, not realizing that by their own choices they've made it so that yeah, precisely. Let him think he has zero rights. And hopefully things can quickly get to where, then if she finds someone who cares for her and the kids, they get married and truly cares for them, then he can be told that, oh, it's just a formality, but we need to do this to finalize it, and hopefully he'll feel that he doesn't really have a choice. But then at the same time, part of me says, hopefully that takes a number of years down the road so that if he decides to pull the, oh wait, she's happily, or she's looking at getting married, I better say I want to keep custody of the kids and have something to do with them. But I do know with the youngest, one thing he probably won't realize is that it's going to take longer, or less time for courts to say, actually, we think now, or okay, you can have visitation and everything, but we're going to have it be this way. You're going to have to come to wherever they're living, that city, and meet with them, etc., etc. So the kids can get to know you. And from the sounds of it, if that happens, my son accidentally picked up a regular Portkey the other day, and I was like, he's like, so what should I do with it? And I said, use it, because it's taking up a space. Anyway, from the sounds of it, he'll be told, or he'll realize that, oh crap, now I have to go wherever they are, and no, I don't want to put that work in. I'm just trying to So get what message? So 8 more red, right? Yes. From your daughter? And honestly, I thought the babies you had, I didn't realize they were that daughters. Ah, I see. Well, the thing is I'm saying he could go to court and say he wanted to see the kids, to have visitation. But that's part of why I'm kind of sharing the information. That if, because knowing her, it's going to be at least, or I would guess, and I shouldn't say knowing her, but just knowing in general what happens, my guess is it's going to be a little while before she's ready to date. Especially because, honestly, in the Army, when you're in the Army, a lot of them, they end up falling for other service members, but there's also they have to be careful about who they date. And they're literally told that, to be careful about who they date. Because, one, there are certain restrictions about who you can and can't date that are military. And then those that aren't military, there's issues there. Because of guys like him. And so it'll probably be a while before she finds someone she trusts enough to even date. That fits in the right restrictions and everything, let alone marry. And unlike here, my guess is that it won't be a few months later, that they're engaged for only a few months, it'll probably be engaged for quite a while. I know most places it's a year plus. And so she may have met by doing that, she may meet the time period to where he would have a heck of a time, or to where basically then for visitation, he has to set it up with her at a time when she can and go to a local park so the kids can get to know him more. And then from the local park, then it has to, like a local park or a local restaurant or something where she's close by. And then from there and you have to do that a number of times. And then after that many of times of it going good, and it's a short visit. It's not a long visit. It's like I would say it's something like a 30-minute or an hour visit. Max. And then they have to, from there, the next period is the same amount of, and then they build up the times to it, those visits. And then they go to a local park for or he has to stay local, and he can have them for 30 minutes or an hour max. But without mom having to stay nearby. He actually gets to spend some time without mom nearby at that point. And you have to build up to at least a 3-hour visit. Not we stayed 3 hours. It's building up. It's a number of times of shorter visits in their local town. And then I can't remember, I think they even have to do an overnight local before he can even look, or a few overnight locals before he can look at a weekend, maybe at his place. And so, knowing chances are she won't live local to him, chances are he may try to fight that and say, no, I won't sign over my rights, I want visitation and whatever else, to give her heck. But I would bet that within a short while of that, he kind of backs off, because, and she can go and say, he isn't coming to the visitations, and he won't get more visitation. The visitations aren't ever lengthened unless he actually does them. And I know after 4 years, or after, I think it's 4 years, I'm not sure how long, but there is a certain amount of time where they could claim that he hasn't seen him for that long, so it's abandonment, and the current spouse can get custody without dad having signed over rights. As long as he doesn't pay child support in that time. I believe if he pays child support, it extends the amount of time. but it doesn't extend the amount it takes to be able to, the amount he has to do to be able to spend time with the kids. It does give him longer, though, that he hasn't seen them, that he can come back and say, I want to see him. But at the same time, it's a little bit harder. It's still, yeah. So if he's paying child support, he does have to see them in a certain amount of time, but he gets a longer leeway because he's proving that he's caring for the kids in some way. So the bad part is, I don't know which one's the older one, if it's the daughter or the son. It is possible that he could just not want to deal with a baby and be hoping that in a couple of years he can come back and say he wants visitation with the baby, and then eventually that he wants custody. So 3 more red, 6, 2 more red, and 2 green or blue. Okay. But I'm glad you've got her back stateside. Honestly, before you decide to move anywhere, I would find out where she's going to be based stateside and consider looking around there. I'd love to have you here in Logan, but being a single mom, she's gonna need her mom's help. And that's more important to me than, yeah. And I'm sure you understand that. I'm a friend, she's your daughter, and they're your grandkids. They need you. Mental health wise, whole nother story. If mentally it would hurt your mental health, obviously I want you out of there, but so you might look at either staying where you're at. I know it's a 2-hour drive each way, or if you can get a place closer. Really cool would be if she can live off base and you and her could share a house. Or, could rent a place together so that you can help with grandkids, help them know they're loved and everything, and then, yeah. Then when, who knows, I don't know how hard it is I don't know if she's in the right branch to get to Hill Air Force Base and how hard it is, but if she can, once her time there is up, that's an idea. Yeah, that's what and I don't remember if Hill has, I didn't want that one, oh well, I got it. It's the one I was after for a long time and now I don't want it. I don't remember if Hill has any army based there, or if they're fully, I know they've got Air Force, but I don't know what other positions they have. We also have we do have one place I believe is Army, where they destroy all the weapons and stuff, but I'm not sure I would recommend that. Not with little ones at home, etc., because if something were to happen, at least where the position she's in right now, they won't put her in a at-risk position. Whereas I think the only place here is an at-risk. So yeah, that's my recommendation. I know you were thinking of moving here, but maybe it's good for that you didn't, just because she needs you. And she's gonna need you. It's gonna be hard for her. I know they provide daycares and stuff like that, or at least I believe they do on bases and stuff, but even then it can be hard if you're a soldier and you've got a sick kid at home, and it can be hard to just hard in general. Even if the kid isn't sick, I mean, obviously, if you're a single mom, being a single mom without parental support nearby is hard. It's hard with parental support nearby, let alone without. So, personally, I would say having you nearby her would be a huge help to her and to them. Then she can decide what she wants to do. Yeah, I can totally see that. And I don't think you'd leave her without help, but at the same time, and I know your one daughter is there, that probably would try and step in and help. But Mom is just so much more. That may sound bad, but it's a whole nother story having Mom versus Dad or versus your sibling taking care of your kids. And so I'm sure part of the only way she did not go crazy after he decided to do what he did is the fact that the kids were with you. And I can't say for sure, but I guess that the reason she got sent back to the States was part way to do with that. They probably got her back as quick as they could, but to get her back with her kids. But there's only so much they can do also. Army, military period takes a while to get transfers through and everything else. But from everything I've heard from those I know who have been in the military, they do, in cases like that, they do put a push or a rush on getting the parent back with the kids. And then it's up to the parent after they're back with the kids to decide if they're going to choose to deploy somewhere else or not. They're still allowed to do that. But it's if they choose after it happens to leave the kids with a parent or someone, then they don't get the rush back. Unless something happens to that caregiver. It's just if there's a divorce situation, it's treated as though the carer of the kids had something happen. And then, of course, COVID came in and messed up even that. Lengthened that out for her. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I understand. So... But yeah, the reason I say maybe just stay there for now is I know basically they probably tried to get her in the first base they could. And that's where she's at right now. But in 2 years, she may have more options. And maybe at that point, you know, as she's given more, or as she's able to review the options, maybe you'll be able to get a local, or get somewhere up here or something closer, Utah, whatever, as a base. And, you know, then with time that the rest of the family can also choose to move with, because I know you were talking about that too. And hopefully get her, I'm assuming she wants to keep a career in the military. And so get her set up to where, if she does, get her in a good deployment situation to give her time to find a good spouse. And yeah. My porkies might pop before I fill up that dragon. I'm not used to that. Usually I don't see any orange and I see red everywhere. But where I've got the porkies ready, and I'm not finding very many red, finding a place to pull over. But the other thing about that 2 years is it gives you guys a chance to, as a family, figure out if there is a place that all of you would like to live near. So I'm hoping to be able to finish this out in the next little bit. And then I'll be working on going from silver to gold. I haven't seen the dragon, I'd like to let you guys see me prestige the page. But if I don't manage, I don't manage. We will see. And I'm going after all this stuff even though I don't need it, hoping that I can get some really good gifts for peoples. Because I haven't been getting very good gifts lately. And trying to find people on the fortress is getting hard. So what I'll be doing, my son gets off in about an hour and a half. So once I get off, I'll probably still be driving around for like an hour and a half. I do have a few things I need to do online that I'll probably try and do. During that time. But basically trying to pop port keys. As you can see, I'm going to start running into trouble kind of with keys to where I'm going to have to decide I'm not turning even though, or I'm trying to turn right, but I didn't go because there were people there. And the person was just sitting there. One of them was just sitting there waiting for the light. Or who knows. Guess they didn't realize the light had turned. This will be my first distracted drive or drives for months. If it picks it up. I have found that half the time it doesn't even pick up the drives. Driving app. So because whenever David has the phone or one of the kids, I put it as passenger because I don't feel that it's fair when I don't have the phone to have it count against me when they're using the phone. Just today I really wanted to get these dragons and dragon eggs, and we all know that we don't have a lot of time. Okay, I think I need one more dragon and the port keys. We will see what comes first. I'm coming down here because it's easier to pull over down here than up on that road up there. And hopefully we'll have a dragon or two that are what we're after. We will see. Not that one. Let's see where we're at with gifts. Barufio's extravagant, that's a regular. Extravagant, regular. Regular. I mean, I'm assuming most of these are going to be regular, but the fact I have 2 extravagant makes me happy. But it does not look like I've gotten any, or I got 1 extravagant from a greenhouse. The Barufio's has been sitting there because I haven't been able to open ingredient gifts. So I've tried to give, if people have given me a really good ingredient gift or a really good runestone, etc., I try to give them one back. That's where I've been prioritizing my gifts lately. And that's part of the reason I wanted to come after gifts too. I did find I have another reduced bird time to go after too. So I will be doing that one. Those will make it nice for brilliant events where they do brew so many potions. If I remember right, this light had a whole bunch of reds at. And we're usually stopped here for a while. So if any show up, I'll be able to select them. Nope. But we'll be through the light pretty quick and we'll see if there's anything on the other side. I'm not going to try and go after these ends. I'm going to wait until I can pull over and see if any dragons show up. Because that would be strange. No dragons. What? Wow. I had thought for sure I might be able to get my other dragon there. Free through the light. Yay, there's my other dragon. So I get up here where I can park, and then I can go after my port keys, and then end the stream. Then I'll need 60 on each to make it to gold. I guess I forgot I already have it sitting there. Yay, toadstools again. Gonna have enough for some good Baruffios. The only problem I'll have is picking up energy, or not energy, picking up ingredients for my daily task thing. Luckily the energy works, but nope, I gotta go just a little bit longer, it looks like. So I need to pick up blue and green port keys and go 0.1 mile. And then I can there's a blue. If I remember right, there were some blue ones down this way. And I really don't care what color I get because I need 30 of each. And this will be the one with my local dragon. So if I can get it to gold, that would be nice. And it looks like that shouldn't be a problem. Of question is if I'll get both of them to gold and if I'll get a gold start. Today is so my son has school today, does not have school tomorrow, so I won't be in town tomorrow. Well, I mean, I might come in and I might send the phone in with my husband if he comes in. So I might still get walking distance, but it's not like I'll be in town for a few hours. I do have my stream Saturday and my stream later tonight, but whether those will be out and about ones or from home, I am not sure. Okay, find a place to pull over because there's the last of those. And then I'll just go pick up port keys and get them going and go from there. That's a white one. I don't need a white one. But let's go get these port keys unlocked. Let's start up here again. There we go, both silver. So I've taken one from wood to silver and the other from bronze to silver. Now it'll just be how much farther can I take it? Yay! I like that one. Unicorn hair and toadstools are the things that I want the most of. Okay, I'll show you where I'm at. I need 29 opal, 30 of the Chinese, I think it is. So the red, yeah, Chinese. Down here I need 29 of the common Welch and 30 of the Peruvian viper tooth. And then obviously the dragons, but I'm not as worried on the dragons. You've seen why. So, I'm going to go pick up more. Let's go look at, not that one, this one. And with this one, I only need to complete the Wizarding Challenge. One thing I did find out, my time changed to midnight. It reset everything, but then it said it was resetting in 3 minutes. I did pick up something, checked it out. It didn't reset in the 3 minutes. It had already reset, so that was strange. But, yeah, So thanks for joining me, everyone who did, especially Steph, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.